And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
What is up, guys? Corey here, and today we are looking at a beast of a display. This is a 3440 by 1440p display coming in from BenQ. So my plan with this video is just to run through the characteristics of the display. So I'll discuss resolution, size, who it's intended for, price point, etc. So off the jump, this is a 3440 by 1440p display. And do not get confused with all those fours in there, guys. This is not as good as a 4K monitor, but it's definitely way better than a 1080p monitor. So it's kind of that happy medium when it comes down to gaming and also productivity. Now this is a curved display, and really the only thing a curved display does for you besides looking badass is it kind of gets you a little more immersed in your experience. I've heard it optimizes people's workflow when it comes down to video editing too. Whatever works for you, but being that it's a curved monitor, it just adds a little sense of I'm a badass to my setup, I guess, if you will. Now on the regular monitor stand, you do get height and tilt adjustments just in case you need to fine tune it for your specific setup. Now let's talk bezels for just a second. Now I'm a very, very particular guy when it comes down to bezels. I like them very, very thin. It tends to have me more I guess focused on my workflow, gets me more immersed in my experience, and it also makes the setup look way more badass in my opinion. For those of you that are a little more interested in the specifications of the display, for one, we are getting AMD FreeSync, which is definitely awesome. We have an aspect ratio of 21:9 and a refresh rate of 100 Hertz. Now on top of all of those features, this monitor does feature HDR support, and it does have a response time of 4 milliseconds. Now as for the response time, 4 milliseconds, it's not the worst, it's definitely not the best either, but it's definitely a very, very, very good mix when it comes down to gaming and then also productivity. Now altogether, I would like to say that this monitor does seem very, very durable. It seems like it'll last a while. It's made of a very, very high quality material. And on top of that, it's made from a company that has a really good name in the game, and that is BenQ. Now, one of the topics that I wanted to talk about in this video was the usage of this display. How is it going to be used? How is it most efficiently used? And then who is this monitor for? Now, how is this monitor intended to be used? I'm going to give this a different kind of classification on ratings for gaming, productivity, and then Netflix and / movies, things like that. For gaming, I'm going to give this monitor an A+. Now, the ratings only go to A++, so with that said, for gaming, this is an excellent display. For productivity, I'm giving it an A++, which is the best rating you can get on my rating system that I have here. And then for movies, Netflix, things of that nature, I'm going to give this display an A+. So let's dive just a little bit deeper. Let's figure out who is this monitor intended for. Now, for the most part, I do think this monitor is intended for somebody that does gaming as well as productivity work on the same display. In my case, I do about 50% video editing / schoolwork, things of that nature, all bundled into one. And this other 50% over here, I'm doing a little bit of gaming, whether that's, kind of like PUBG games, Call of Duty games, or things of that nature. But this monitor's been very, very well-rounded when it comes down to both sort of tasks. Now, this display is also out there for enthusiasts that do like to buy monitors of this kind of caliber and price point. But one thing I will say is this could be a really, really good alternative for those of you that are in a dorm room. So instead of having a TV and a display, you're having a pretty large monitor that acts as your TV, that acts as your computer monitor. You kind of kill two birds with one stone. Now, one thing I did want to mention is that this monitor is not kind of stuck with just the Apple family. It's not with just the Windows family. It is compatible regardless of what operating system that you're using. Now, one thing that I look for when I'm on the market for a new display is what ports does the monitor have? Now, in this case, we do have a USB Type-C. We get a display port as well. We get 2 HDMIs, and then also a USB 3.0 on the back. So you kind of get the best of both worlds when it comes down to Mac or Apple users. You definitely get the high-end kind of cable, so you can get the high-end resolution. And then as for the USB, if you did want to do like an LED strip back there, get one powered via USB so you don't have to have another plug coming down to plug it in the wall. Now for the past month and a half that I've had this display on my desk, I've been testing it every day. There's only one flaw that I've came across, and that one flaw is that the monitor is not basically VESA compatible. Now, when I say it's not VESA compatible, I'm kind of lying to you. It is VESA compatible, but you need a VESA transfer kit. And guess what? Nobody in the world wants to sell a VESA transfer kit. Not even BenQ themselves. They're out of stock. Nowhere online, at least in the United States, is selling a VESA transfer kit. Now, before I get hounded in the comments, guys, I'm making this video on April 16th. So with that being said, for the past month or so, there's not been any VESA transfer kits on the BenQ website or anywhere online. Now, if it's been a week or two, a couple months, there's definitely a chance it's out there. I'd look it up. I'll try and find a link and drop one down below. But if you guys are looking for it and you find one, definitely mention it in the comments so I can drop it for the rest of the peeps that will watch this video. Now, the last thing I'm going to touch on is the price of this display. Now, when we look at monitors of the similar caliber, we're talking at least 1440p, at least at 32 inches in size. Pretty standard when it comes down to pricing, if not blowing some of those competitors out of the water. So the BenQ EX3501 comes in at $850 US. Now, as for the other currencies, I'm not exactly sure, but like I said before, this is definitely a very competitive price for the features given. So altogether, guys, a very, very high quality display. It does come with a price tag, but for those of you enthusiasts, for those of you productivity and gamers, for those of you in a dorm room that just want something to get you by when it comes down to a TV and display, and you're kind of cramped on size, this would be an excellent choice for you. But hey, if you're not one of those and you think this would be a great monitor for you, drop a comment down below. Let me know what's your intended use or what you will use it for. And if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, please drop them right down below. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace!